I did not sleep with that young intern. As a matter of fact, I was at fun night.
Raunchy content was not uncommon in WWE in the late 90s, but with WWE's shift to a more kid-friendly product over the last decade or so, it was surprising when we, the audience, saw some things that tested those limits of a TV PG rating on our screens. I'm Kevin, and here are 5 WWE segments that went a little bit too far for the PG era. Number 5, The Fiend's entrance. Although some doubted the Fiend gimmick at first, Wyatt proved them wrong immediately upon his return to Raw prior to SummerSlam 2019. At SummerSlam, he squared off against Finn Balor, and however, more than the match, fans were excited to see the changes that would occur aesthetically to the former WWE Champion's entrance and his in-ring tactics. One spooky aspect of the entrance turned out to be Wyatt's modified lantern, which resembled a severed head of Bray himself stretched out over the lantern light, as if the Fiend carrying Wyatt's own head to symbolize the death of his old character. It might just be a prop, but for millions of kids watching the WWE product, it was indeed a non-PG move. And moreover, it was just freaking scary. Number 4, the planned malfunction. Following her return to the main roster in 2016, Total Divas star Eva Marie found herself in a feud with main eventer Becky Lynch. However, Eva kept creating excuses to not exactly square up with the man. Considering WWE's TV PG-friendly product at the time, one shocking attempt by Eva Marie to avoid competition was to commit a wardrobe malfunction. On the August 9th, 2016 edition of SmackDown, Marie made her way out to wrestle Lynch, but just before the bell rang, the incident occurred, and as a result, the referee covered her up with a white towel and announced the match wouldn't take place. We never did get that match, as WWE suspended her for 30 days for violating their wellness policy shortly after the whole wardrobe debacle. Number 3, a honeymoon spoiled for Drake Maverick. Although we don't see it as much lately, the WWE 24/7 Championship has given us quite a few laugh-out-loud moments. As per the rules, there's no restriction, no timing, and match can happen at any point, anywhere, at any time, competing for the 24/7 strap, which means even if you're trying to consummate your marriage on your honeymoon, a challenger for the title could show up. And that's exactly what happened. Perhaps Drake should have learned his lesson when R-Truth interrupted his wedding to win back his baby, the 24/7 title. After Maverick won it back, Truth decided to crash the newlyweds' honeymoon, and in this WWE segment, Drake was seen wearing the 24/7 title belt without any clothes on, preparing to have a very good intimate time until room service showed up. Except it wasn't room service, it was a referee, and there's R-Truth, and he rolled him up. Oh no, he pinned him right there in the hotel room. We feel for you, Renee Michelle, we feel for you. Number 2, Lana's allegations on Rusev. Rusev's real-life wife, Lana, has been involved in quite a few romantic angles during her tenure in WWE. However, on September 30th, 2019's edition of Raw, Lashley made his return during Rusev's match, and Lana, to everyone's surprise, came out and kissed Lashley. I mean, really kissed him. This left Rusev infuriated, but that was just the beginning of a lengthy, twisted storyline. Week after week, Lana kept provoking Rusev, and on an episode of Raw, in a segment hosted by Jerry Lawler, Lana went a little bit too far and stated that Rusev was only obsessed with her physically and accused him of being a sex addict for wanting to sleep with her in a wide variety of places, and she named all of the places. It was a pretty awkward segment considering WWE's approach towards a more kid-friendly program, or at least trying to test the limits of that at the time. Number 1, clean chair shots to the head. 2 of the all-time greats battled it out at the grandest stage of them all as Triple H squared off against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 27. As WWE got thick into the PG era, a serious no-no at the time was a policy applied to wrestlers attacking each other with steel chairs, and no more clean shots to the head. You had to get your hands up. Apart from the visual violence of it all, such an impactful strike to the head can lead to concussions and severe injuries, and as the sports world learns more about the severity of concussions, it just felt passé. All that taken into note, Triple H and Undertaker decided to break this rule during their match at the Show of Shows. Towards the end of the match, Triple H hit a chair to Undertaker's head, knocking him out, and delivered a DDT onto the chair. While the match was a brilliant one, to say the least, a consequence of them using that chair shot to the head saw Triple H and Undertaker legitimately fined by the WWE for violating the policy.